Hello, greetings everyone. Today we'll be talking about the group project, and the movie that we have chosen is The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a really important movie because it showcases small groups. It showcases how people from different backgrounds who have different personalities can come together and have different point of views. So basically, let's talk a little bit about the movie. The movie is about five high school students from different social classes, which are in detention under a power-hungry principal. The group includes John, Clara, Allison, Brian, and Andrew. So basically, those five people have different personalities and have different point of views of how they view the school system and their lives. So the movie starts with them getting to know each other. They talk about their different problems, and as the day goes on, they start getting to know each other better. They talk about the problems that they face together, or they face towards their family, or towards their school. So it's all about a small group trying to find a conclusion for their problems. So basically, yeah, they face their daily lives together, and their purposes uncertain on each other. The main theme and concept of the film is to showcase the constant struggle of the American teenager to be understood and observed by adults, by other people, by themselves, and by the school systems. This movie showed the type of pressure that gets put on high school students and the type of expectations they need to meet. Either it's from their schools or from their families. Eventually, the group starts to bond together, which is a really good thing in small groups. So there's three different concepts that we chose to talk about. The first one is group life cycles, which means the process and stage of group development. The second concept is life cycle of group member, and the third concept is group norms. The first concept is group life circles. So basically, group life circles means the patterns that refers to the process and stages of group development. In these patterns, we have five stages. It includes forming, norming, storming, performing, and last but not least, adjourning. So basically, in the Breakfast Club, the five high school students. We can see from the structure and layout of this group, they all have different personalities and backgrounds. Each person has a certain thing that makes them unique in a way or another. The five are described as brain, one of them being the brain, the athlete, a basket case, and a princess and a criminal. This seems like a pretty much high school group. Their group cycle is linked with many stuff that they share between each other. As from the introduction of the movie and after getting to know each group member and their personalities, we start to see the problems that they face individually and the problems they face as a group together. First of all, each high school student from this group has family problems. They face issues from the school. This is all known as being a part of the forming group. They're all in the same place, they're getting to know to get each other. This is them moving into the forming stage of the group life cycle. After the movie goes on, we see the student pastime start talking, arguing, listening to music, smoking marijuana. Gradually, this helps them open up more about their daily lives and their secrets and the poor relationships with their parents. This all is considered under the storming stage of the group life pattern. We can see that group is now evolving from one stage to another. And then each group member starts claiming the reason that they're in detention as why did this happen. By doing this, they establish rules to how to communicate with each other. So this helps them like bring the gap between them closer, as they all realize that despite their differences in either its personalities, the common thing they have is the problems they face. This brings us to the Norman stage. So the second concept of Yodame we talk about is the life cycle of group member rules. So basically, just as groups go through a life cycle and they form and eventually join, each group member has to fulfill a certain thing for them to either process and evolve in their lives. As in the beginning of the movie, the life cycle that shows us that they're all potential members to be this new group. And as time passes by, the students become new members of the group as they start communicating with each other. They become new members of their own group. They communicate with each other, they set rules, they talk about the issues that they face, they show a sign of similarities in the issues they face. This helps them turn into full members. This process has no set timetable. Some people overcome differences and stay in the group for years. Other get promoted, leave the group only when they get transferred to headquarters. As a skilled communicator, you could recognize the signs of divergence. Just like you anticipate storming stage, you do your best to make the group work. You try to make the group go together. So even though like sometimes some group members are gonna leave, some conflict is gonna show, we gotta like try to make it work, because at the end of the day we have to make the group thing work. We need to make the issues go away and we need to solve our own problems. This is called the life cycle of group member. Everything in life has a life cycle from its start to its end. The third concept that I'll be talking about is group norms. So basically norms mean a set of rules, a set of habits, expectations. Basically, it's like a system that lays out the foundation of how things in our point of view should go. So, the concept I'll be talking about is small group norms. Every group develops its own customs, habits, and expectations about things will done. These patterns and expectations, we call them norms. They influence the ways team members communicate with each other. Norms can help groups in achieving its goal, and that's shown with the groups with this movie, Small Group, how their souls influence each other, as the norms are ways of behaving that is considered normal in a particular society, but each group member has a different point of view and different prescription of these norms. As an example, the bully John tends to break these norms. He doesn't like these norms that were set by the social community he lives in, by the country he lives in. This is due to his rebellious personality, while others tend to respect those social norms that were set by the society. They also believe their mutual experiences will change the way they look at their peers, and at these due to them forming their own group norms. So when this small group from this movie started to form their own social norms, they started respecting it. They started putting boundaries to for those norms, how they should react to it, how they should act with it, how they should perform within these norms. This way, it helps the group be a better group in many terms. This helps them understand human nature more and why these societies function based on these social norms, or why do certain communities put certain norms. In conclusion, this movie showed many aspects and stages of what a group is like, how it is formed, how groups go through their patterns and stages, and how with the help of each other and realizing that this is a shared pattern of issues. So this group had a shared pattern of issues. They worked together, they talked with each other. This helped them like become very close. So this helped them grow as a strong, independent group. This made them also wiser when did they put their own group norms. This shows the power of uniting together. And at the end, I want to say this movie really showed what small groups could be. They showed us the point of views of different types of people. They showed us the point of view of school principal, how he views these students as rebellious. They don't do their homework, they don't do nothing. But then when we look at the students' point of view of themselves, they say that they feel like they're influenced by these social norms that the school put. They feel like detention should not be existed. So yeah, let's move to the PowerPoint presentation. So basically, the Breakfast Club. Okay, 1 second. This is the Breakfast Club. Okay, so this is the character John. He's called John Benja the criminal. Basically, we put like a little concept or like a little question, a little point of view that he knows. Does Barry Manley know that you raid his wardrobe? Detention. Andrew Clark, he's known as the athlete. One of his famous phrases is, "I'm not a winner because I want to be. I'm a winner because I've got strength and speed." Kind of like a racehorse. Alison Reynolds is known as the basket case. One of her famous phrases is, "My home life is unsatisfying." Claire is known as the princess. She's known as the beautiful one. So she says, "Do you know how popular I am? I am so popular. Everyone loves me so much at the school." This shows her cocky personality. We can say like a little bit of narcissism where she loves herself too much. And Brian Johnson is known as the brain. You know, I can answer that right now, sir. That'd be a no for me. And this is the principal, Richard Vernon. one of his famous phrases, "Don't mess with the bullion, man. You'll get the horns." And he's a little like a little summarized of the movie. Five teenagers have to spend a Saturday in detention with Mr. Vernon. They don't know each other, but just want to get through the day. As time goes on, they begin to get open each other and work together to have fun without getting caught. Group life cycles, the process or stages of group development. These are universal we all can recognize. The five stages of group development are forming enormous storms. Yeah. So yeah, this is basically just the presentation in a more artsy way where we're showing pictures of the movie, we're showing characters, and we're trying to show the context that's going on. So in the beginning, we know that each character has their own problems with their family. Most of the time, they keep their problems quiet until they start to open up and learn this. This is where we see the former stage, and this is the picture when some conversation happens between the character and his family. Because the group members are so different, they usually don't get along. This is called like the storming stage because, as I said before, their different personalities led to conflict happening. But it's a normal thing that happens in most of the world's groups or teams. They eventually begin to, so as I said, they begin to open up. They found ways. So one of the ways they got closer to each other, they would listen to music together, they would smoke weed together, they would talk. This is all concepts of the normal stage. They found their ways to get closer to each other. So in this group life cycles, we can see this picture of the five members, all of them showing different emotions. They're having a conversation. But they talk about so basically they were talking about their parents and how they face problems with them and how they put certain issues that affect them in their life. This is the performance stage where they're going through. Eventually, at the end of the movie, their time is done and they can go home. But like after this experience with each other, they left an impression on each other and decided to be friends. They accomplished their end goal of getting through detention despite Mr. Van bothering them. This is the last stage of the group, the adjoining stage. This is the group life cycle coming to an end. But for me, I don't think it was really the end because at the end of the movie, they agreed to become friends, and some of them showed some signs of affection and love, which could lead to relationships, friendships, and all that type of stuff. So members of the groups fulfill different roles during the cycle. The movie has different time stops. Everyone is a potential member. As time passes by, they start become a group and start communicating and working together. They found that they have similarities and help each other overcome their differences. And as I talked about this before, group norms, it helps develop their own habits, their own traditions, their own prescriptions and all. So I'm gonna give some examples. John is example of someone that yeah, as I said before, he goes against his own norms due to his rebellious personality. But we found out the reason he is rebellious is because the way his abusive father treats him, it makes him in he's always in an attack position, defense position. This led to the other members having a problem with him, but they eventually understood him as most of the team members faced the same thing. So we decided to do a movie quiz for this. So yeah, the first question is gonna be what sport did Andrew play in the movie? And the answer is gonna be wrestling. The second question is what did Allison add to her sandwich? And the answer is cereal. Yeah, such a good choice, Allison. And the last question is Benzer retrieved what item from his school locker? Let's take a guess. 1, 2, 3. He retrieved weed. What does Claire bring for lunch? She brought sushi. The answer is sushi. So, what caused Brian's locker to go up in flames? Let's take a look. It was a flare gun. Smart O'Brien. And this is the end. And at the end of this group project, I wanted to say this movie really opened my eyes into seeing how groups go through different problems and how they face different issues. And it made me realize how we can go through these problems when we help each other, when we have the same point of views. So yeah, thank you.